This Scouser, this Liverpool fella, went to Blackpool during a busy season. He was screaming out for kooks. And he went to this hotel. I said to the manager, any chance for jobs as a kook? So the manager says, have you done any hotel work before? He said, yes, certainly. He says, I worked all the best hotels in Great Britain. He says, as a matter of fact, I was a chef on the Queen Mary for 12 years. Well, the manager says, I can't just take you away for it. You'll have to show you what I can do. So this Scouser says, give us an egg. So the manager gave him an egg, and he flicked it up in the air, caught it on his head, spun it round, flicked it off his head onto his shoulder, off his shoulder onto his knee, off his knee onto his foot, and he booted it right across the kitchen, and it landed right on the edge of a frying pan, split in two. The egg went in and fried, and 2 hours the shell dropped in a bucket. The manager says, marvellous. He says, yes, you do that. Because my eyes deceived me. This Scout says, give another egg. He said, I'll do it a different way for you. So the manager gave me another egg, and he flicked it up in the air, caught it on his head, spun it round, and it rolled right down his back, right down the back of his leg, onto his heel, and he flicked it over his head. And it went right across the kitchen again. Landed on the edge of a frying pan, split in two, the egg went in and fried, and 2 hours the shell dropped in the bucket. The man said, marvellous, he says. I've never seen anything like it in my life. So this Scouser said, do you get the job? He said, no chance, he messed about too much. No sleep, is he? Oh, this fella come over to Liverpool for a job on the buses, and the inspector says, Mick, have you drove buses before? He says, I have. All over the world. And in Ireland. He said, all right, Mick. He said, start tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And Mick's there, 1:30. And the inspector said, well done for Mick. He said, we conductor. He said, we don't have conductors in Liverpool. It's all one-man buses. Mick said, I've never done that before. He said, it's dead easy. All you do is take the money and away you go. I haven't told you. It's me mum. So Mick gets in the bus, and about 10 minutes later there's a phone call. There's one of your buses right through C&A Mode's window. The inspector dashes down there, and there's Mick sitting there smoking. I said, what happened, Mick? He said, don't know. He said, I was upstairs getting the fares. Skiing on the telly, innit? I was in the club last night, you know, and I said to the waitress, you know, I said, pint of bitter, give it a £10 notice to get what you like yourself. She went out and got a trouser suit. Just been down south there. It's garbage. Doing the sports day at a nudist camp. Should have seen him doing the sack race in polythene bags. And the relay race was a scream. One fella got dragged 400 yards. Hey, these two fellas are on safari and go to the jungle, you know, with a big load of porters behind them, carrying all their stuff, you know. And he said, we made camp here. So we made camp, you know. And he woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and all the porters had gone. Took all everything, you know. Just left them 2 rifles and a chip pan. And one said to his mate, hey, he said, we'll starve to death. He said, let's see if we can get some food. He says, you go up that path there. And I'll go up that path there. We'll meet you there in 10 minutes. And he met in 10 minutes. I'm always carrying a big sack. He said, how'd you go on? He said, well, I go into the jungle there and seen this fella selling King Edwards. So I got a sack and £2 of onions. He said, so we'll have chips and onions. So they lit the fire, you know, peel the potatoes and dice the onions, you know. He says, how are we going to want for dripping? He said, well, you go up that path there and try and get an animal, he says, and we'll get the fat off it. I'll nip up here and try and get a paper. So one of them come back, you know. He said, how'd you go on? He says, I got this pygmy. He says, only 8 inches tall and weighed about 22 stone. He said, well, I'll tell you what, he says, put it on the spit. Put him on the spit and turn him slow like that, so that the flames melt him and drips on his chips. He said, we're back in a minute, I'm just going to the lab. You know. When he come back, there's his mate like that. He said, I told you to turn him slow. He said, it was, but he was pinching the chips. This fella lives in the tenements in Kirby. Side Liverpool, you know, the Ponderosa. And he won £250,000 on the pools. And this reporter from Grenada said to him, what are you going to do with it? He says, I'll put a couple of pounds to it and pay the rent. And do you remember when you got your school report? You know, at the end of the term. And you'd be altering on the way home. History. 10 out of 10. Arithmetic, 10 out of 10. English, 10 out of 10. All 10 out of 10. And he couldn't alter the teacher's writing. And on the bottom it would say, if he paid attention, he could do better.